Trump is no friend of ours. These blunt words from Apti Alaudinov, the commander of the Chechen Akhmat Special Forces, set the tone for his fiery interview with News.ru, a Russian news outlet. As Donald Trump prepares to assume office after his 2024 election victory, Alaudinov's sharp critique of the former US president's motives offers a revealing glimpse into Russia's perspective on American strategy in the ongoing Ukraine conflict. Trump's stance on the war, long debated in Washington, takes center stage in Moscow's calculations. Alaudinov, known for his no-holds-barred rhetoric, acknowledged Trump's prowess as a businessman and strategist, but dismissed any notions of alignment with Russian interests. Trump is by no means our friend. He is a good manager, a businessman. And of course, being a good businessman, he will take care of his state, he remarked. Alaudinov speculated that Trump's overarching goal would be to bolster America's global dominance while consolidating domestic power through policies aimed at securing a second term for his administration.
Trump is by no means our friend, and of course he will not do anything that would be good for Russia. He is a good manager, a businessman, and of course, being a good businessman, he will take care of his state. It was at a height, and he will try to restore, as he says, the former power of his state. Trump will enter this position and get power. I think that he will do everything to ensure that the next term will also be his team, from the category of people who will think just like him.
Alaudinov emphasized the financial and strategic burdens the United States is shouldering. With the Middle East demanding U.S. attention, particularly due to unwavering support for Israel, and the specter of a potential hot phase of conflict with Russia looming, Trump's administration, he argued, would face an unsustainable juggling act.
At the same time, it should be understood that it is not profitable for Trump himself to pull so many military companies at the same time. Israel is his main American ally, it turns out. But of course, in the Middle East, whether they want it or not, they will support Israel in any way to pull the Middle East at the same time, and to pull a war that can soon move, as they say, into a hot phase with Russia. Of course, Trump already understands that they will not be able to. Why? Because the reserves of weapons, they are exhausted, both for us and for our enemies. And of course, the WPK plants, they are physically not able to fulfill all this. And in order for this to be enough both there and in our direction, they still need to prepare for what may be a hot phase of the conflict with China.
Alaudinov's grim assessment of Ukraine's capabilities added another layer of context. He claimed that Kyiv is running out of male recruits to sustain its resistance against Russia. The task they set initially, to fight until the last Ukrainian, can almost be considered fulfilled, he said, predicting that Trump might leverage this reality to push for a resolution that aligns with U.S. interests while avoiding a nuclear escalation.
We must believe that Trump will, in any way probably, try to complete the issue of the conflict with Russia. Also, the American state, we must note that, in principle, most of the tasks that it put in front of it, in principle, fulfilled further to play with us, is only to bring the situation to a hot phase, which may well turn into a nuclear war. Therefore, I think that Trump is not a fool. He himself will make this decision that it is necessary to complete the conflict with Ukraine. Moreover, Ukraine is no longer able to supply the male population in order for it to resist us.
As speculation swirls over Trump's potential policies, the situation on the ground in Ukraine remains dire. Akhmat forces under Alaudinov's command have continued their offensives, with the commander personally overseeing operations in Donetsk. In a video shared by Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, Akhmat troops were seen storming a Ukrainian dugout near Konstantinovka. Before starting the assault, our guys offered the enemy to voluntarily lay down their arms. However, the Aidar soldiers decided that their dugout was an impregnable fortress, Kadyrov wrote on Telegram. The Post praised the Akhmat unit's precision, noting that the dugout and its defenders were swiftly neutralized after an intense exchange. The Russian Defense Ministry's latest update painted a picture of sustained advances by Russian forces across multiple fronts. In the Kharkov region, units of the Seva group of forces inflicted significant losses on Ukrainian troops near Volchansk and Liptsy, while the Zapad group launched strikes in Donetsk, reportedly neutralizing over 365 Ukrainian soldiers and destroying 2 ammunition depots. Further south, the Yug group of forces claimed tactical gains near Konstantinovka and Nikolaevka, while the Center group reported the liberation of Shevchenko in Donetsk. The ministry also highlighted the role of advanced drones, such as the Orlan 10 and Lancet UAVs, in reconnaissance and precision strikes, including the destruction of an Italian-made Melara Mod 56 howitzer. For Alaudinov, these battlefield developments reinforce his belief that Russia has achieved most of its objectives in Ukraine, setting the stage for strategic recalibrations. His remarks underscore the growing narrative within Russia that Trump, despite his contentious reputation, may recognize the limits of prolonged U.S. involvement in the conflict. Yet, Trump's forthcoming decisions will be closely scrutinized, not just in Washington, but also in Moscow and Kyiv. As Alaudinov put it, to play with us is only to bring the situation to a hot phase, which may well turn into a nuclear war. For now, the Akhmat commander remains focused on turning the battlefield into what he describes as a zone of chaos, with his forces continuing to execute operations that Kadyrov and the Russian Defense Ministry are eager to showcase as symbols of strength.